Hey guys, I gotta say this before I get going. After the Chicago Cubs finally ended their ridiculous 108-year World Series drought, and hours after finally ending my own channel's NFL video drought, with my newest video about the Atlanta Falcons and their throwback jersey now being brought back as a third jersey for the 2016 season, with the exception of their helmet because of the NFL's one helmet rule. If you want, feel free to check out that video if you want. But anyway, also speaking of the Falcons, coincidentally, I actually happened to watch the Thursday night game tonight between the Falcons and the Buccaneers. And in case you don't know, every Thursday night, if you look and you watch the games and you wonder why the players are wearing some weird uniforms that you don't see on Sundays or Monday games, it is because every Thursday night in the 2016 season, there is at least one team wearing something called a color rush uniform, which is a special alternate uniform that a team wears for their Thursday night game. And tonight, the Buccaneers wore a special all-red uniform minus the helmet. And the reason why I'm making this video tonight is because I was watching the game tonight, and I noticed something very, very odd. And the truth is, I did not just see one thing that threw me off. And by throwing me off, I'm talking about their uniforms. Not only did I see one thing that threw me off, the truth is, I actually found a second thing that threw me off. And the truth is, both the Falcons and the Buccaneers uniforms tonight both had something unique about them that threw me off. And in this video, not only am I going to talk about the Falcons and a little bit of an interesting but very odd thing that happened with some of the players' uniforms tonight, but there's something about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in particular that in this video I want to talk about. And by the time we get to the end of this video, I think you guys are going to realize that this probably completely went under the noses of practically everyone. And first off, before I even begin, I want to quickly show you viewers out there the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Color Rush uniform. Now this picture is from their Color Rush game last year against not the Los Angeles Rams, but the St. Louis Rams, which, speaking of St. Louis, this was actually the final game that the Rams played before they relocated to Los Angeles to start the season. So notice that it's a solid red look, or as I like to call it, a red morph suit with a pewter helmet. But you see these pewter slashes on the arms, or the upper chest area of the jersey, coming from the arms, the cuffs of the arms across to their flywire collars. So you notice this solid plain red jersey with these pewter slashes on them, just like the regular home and away jerseys, except the regular home and away jerseys have pewter on the shoulders, and they have orange slashes instead of just pewter slashes here. So this is the Color Rush uniform from last year, okay? And tonight they wore it again, right? If you saw the game, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I want to show you guys something interesting that I caught. Let me see. Where did I put it? Let's see. Okay. First off, I want you guys just to take a quick look at their uniform tonight. Now, do you notice that those little pewter slashes on the upper chest area are not there? Yeah. I was watching the game tonight between the Buccaneers and Falcons, and as soon as I saw those pewter slashes missing off the front of the uniform, I was completely thrown off. And I'm going to get into more specifics in just a moment. But first, let's see here. I want to find one other picture to show you guys something else. Now, so that's what I caught from the Buccaneers Color Rush uniform tonight, that they no longer have the little pewter slashes on the upper chest area of their red jersey, their Color Rush jersey. Now, I also want you guys to look at the Atlanta Falcons road jersey. Now, this season, because of the complaints that the NFL received from fans last year as a result of the New York Jets Buffalo Bills Kelly Green versus Solid Red Color Rush matchup, and the complaints were from people who are colorblind because they couldn't even properly tell the teams apart. And if I was colorblind myself, I would be pretty frustrated myself. I'd be like, how can I watch a game when I can't even tell the damn teams apart? Like, from a distance, it's so hard to see the logos a lot of times. And, you know, the NFL rectified that this season by having more teams in cases where there's very colorblind situations, such as the Jets in Kelly Green and the Bills in red, where this season they had the Jets in solid white and they still had the Bills in red. But by doing white versus red, or recently blue versus the Chargers royal blue versus the Broncos orange, colorblind people can actually tell those two teams apart. Well, in the Broncos-Chargers case, the white helmet versus the navy blue helmet was a real help in that regard as well. But if you're noticing why there are teams in the Color Rush games on Thursday nights wearing solid monochrome white, that is why, to help with visibility for colorblind fans, which I think is great. But usually with the Color Rush, when a team is wearing their white away jersey or uniform, they're wearing solid white from the jersey down to their shoes. But where's the white socks? There were players on the field for the Falcons tonight that were wearing black socks. But as I say that, there were also some players wearing the solid white pants, socks, and shoes. So I found that very odd. I thought this was the Color Rush, where it was solid jersey to toe in one color, or I guess in the white uniform case, a shade. And also the Buccaneers with the pewter slashes off the upper chest area of their Color Rush jersey, I found that very odd and it threw me off. Now, the reason why it actually threw me off is because from what I have learned over the past few years as I've become more of an NFL fan and I've started to follow the NFL more and more and more, is that when a team gets new uniforms, they are not, supposedly they're not allowed to change them until they've worn that uniform for 5 years. So when I saw the Buccaneers with a slight change to their uniforms, to be completely honest with you guys, it really threw me off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you viewers a much better look at the Buccaneers' slightly updated Color Rush jersey for this season. Now, as you can see, for this season, there's no more flywire collar. There's a slightly different collar design, and I can explain that because actually this year, for 2016, all of the Color Rush games involve teams wearing a new Nike jersey template, which Nike calls it their Vapor template, which it's meant to be lighter weight. Which, you know, if I was a football player, I would be wanting something more lightweight, sweat resistant, more breathable, and more form-fitting, especially when you got guys trying to grab you constantly. So what I'm going to do here quickly too is read something from the Buccaneers website, and I thought this was interesting. Anyways, the Buccaneers have said on their website, quote, "The Bucs have updated the popular Color Rush jerseys," which I'm not surprised they're popular because their current uniforms, in my opinion, I thought they were a significant downgrade from what they used to wear. And in my opinion, they're two of the worst in the NFL. And I thought they did an awful job with their new uniforms, and I'm being dead serious. So I can appreciate them being popular, and this actually is tolerable. Although I hate the alarm clock numbers. The digital alarm clock numbers, in my opinion, look hideous. And I know not everyone's going to agree with me on that, but if I had my way, the Buccaneers would be more Bucco Bruce than this alarm clock modernized Buccaneer flag look. And actually, I would have loved to have seen these guys go with creamsicle orange and pewter, but anyway. So they debuted in their Thursday night football matchup with the St. Louis Rams last year before they moved to Los Angeles, and introduced a new 2016 version Tuesday. So when they unveiled their new Color Rush uniforms league-wide, this slight change completely went under most people's noses from what it looks like. So the new look boasts an uninterrupted flow of Bucks red color, which you can see without that pewter slash being there, throughout the jersey, and new stitching designed for style and performance. So the style being a more plain, simple uniform, which truth is, I like this plain red jersey better. I think it actually looks better in terms of style myself. And new stitching designed for performance. Right there. So, let's get into some more specific details. Just bear with me for one quick moment here, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to start to zoom in on some of the stitching here. So you see it's a little bit simpler, more of a squared off shoulder, stitching right to the arms. As you can see here, there's a new triangle where the NFL logo is. And of course the pewter slashes on the front are gone. And just something else I want to point out to you viewers is that the slashes here were actually sewn on here as part of their old template. So I'm going to explain that in just a moment. So here's a zoom in on their numbers. They've got the chrome trim, their pewter numbers, and they've got a sublimated effect on them, which up close is cool, but when you see it from a distance, I just don't like it, to be honest with you guys. So anyways, so see the much simpler stitching here, and let me see here. I want to find this photo here from the jersey last year. Now, big change number one is the new Nike Vapor collar. The flywire is no longer on Tampa's Color Rush jersey. And notice these slashes. So I know it's hard to see from my phone's camera, but you see how it's stitched right there? And you see, how can I explain this? Okay, so the stitching comes down from here, and I apologize if it's very difficult to see from my camera, but the stitching comes down here, and I believe there's no. Okay, so as you can see, the template has a lot of different seams on it, right? You can see the meshing here as well. And then if you go to their new uniform, notice that the sides don't have that mesh, which I find is interesting. But I don't believe this is their elite one that I'm looking at here, but I think it's pretty close. So you see the much simpler stitching, right? That's just me getting to the point. So here's what I kind of think has happened. I think that in order to accommodate Nike's new Vapor template, I think what they decided to do was remove these little slashes in an effort to make the seams, the stitching of the jersey more seamless. And I think the goal of it was to help produce a lighter jersey, which I think they did accomplish that, or else they would not have brought out the new uniform. But what really throws me off with this is I thought that teams weren't allowed to just change a jersey for 5 years at a time. So this is very odd to me. And they decided to slightly update the uniform by taking these off. But even though with a new template, what I don't get is, couldn't they have glued it on or sublimated it on or something? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I find it odd that they took that off. And the NFL actually allowed them to do it only after wearing this look here for one game last season. So that's a very interesting surprise change from the Buccaneers. I sure as hell was not expecting any color rush jersey changes from the teams that already brought them out last year. So this is a real shock and a half to me. But I could see how it's stitched right there, and once again, my camera quality is not great. But I kind of wonder if they decided to take that off to help with the new Vapor template, to make it more seamless. I think I'm wrong, but I wonder if that might be the reasoning. And the truth is, I would be super interested to know. That would be quite an interesting... For myself, I think it would be so interesting to hear why the Bucs decided to change and get rid of these only one season after wearing them originally. So also, is there anything else? So yeah, besides that, I mean, so they changed it up. They slightly modified it for style and performance. So style, I get it in terms of wanting something more simple, which I think this is way better than their current home jersey. And performance, because it's lighter. But I still don't get why they not only took the pewter slashes off, but why the NFL actually allowed them to take them off so soon. Because I thought that the NFL had a rule where you had to have the same jersey, or you had to keep a jersey for 5 years before you could change it. Or I guess you have to have it for 5 years, either as a jersey you wear every season or as your designated alternate until you can change it again. Until you can change it again, sorry. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was extremely odd. And I was not expecting to not only see the Falcons on a color rush game wearing black socks with their away jersey, and the Buccaneers actually slightly altering their color rush jersey. So anyway, I mean, I thought I'd make a quick video about it because I thought that was really interesting. And I don't know how many people really caught that. I mean, although they announced it when they unveiled the remainder of the color rush jerseys for this 2016 season, however, that's such a small change, people like me probably wouldn't notice it right away. And truth is, I didn't notice it until I saw the game tonight. So that's why I thought I'd make this video. But anyways, with that, yeah, that's it for this video. And for those of you who want to see more NFL videos from me, good news is I will be working on a 2-part series covering the NFL's color rush uniforms. And on top of that, for you hockey viewers out there, I've got at least 2 NHL jersey videos on the go right now that I'm working on, and I hope to have them both up soon. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you know why the Buccaneers were allowed to make a change to their Color Rush jersey after 1 year, please let me know, because that's something I would love to know. And I guess with that change, I guess the NFL's jersey rules aren't as cut and dry as I thought they were, or set in stone as I thought they were. But anyways, nevertheless, I thought that was very interesting, not only seeing the Falcons, some of their players wearing black socks instead of the full monochrome white like we're used to seeing, but also even more surprising and more shocking for me was the Buccaneers removing the pewter slashes off the front upper chest area of their red Color Rush jersey. I mean, not only am I shocked, but the truth is, I actually think it looks much better just as simple red. I just wish they could wear it without wearing a full-on red morph suit or monochrome red look, like a red Power Ranger. But anyways, with that, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I should have more videos up by the end of this weekend as of this video, which today is November 3rd, 2016. So on that note, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care, and as always, bye for now.